legs are absolutely killing from my strength session yesterday. Whoa! Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing. I am just getting ready to go on a run. I can't remember what I said in last week's video, and then I can't remember what I said, and I more so in terms of like where I was up to with my injury. Good news is I am officially back running, like properly pain-free. I know there was one video that I had put up where I was like, I'm pain-free, and I was for that run, and then I did a little bit of speed work and I kind of messed it up a little bit, to be honest, by going too hard too soon, because I literally thought I was fine, and it's obviously been a couple of weeks since then, but now I am actually fine and I'm much more like myself, back running. Did 17k last week, did over 100k on the bike, and over like 6 to 7 hours of like HYROX training, so definitely feel more like myself, which is amazing. Also in this video I'm going to talk about like my training in general, what I'm doing, and then what I've got coming up, so like this year in terms of the events that I've got, what I'm booking, what I've got planning. You only know, I think, 2 of them, and there's an additional third one that I've not told you properly about yet, which I will speak about. But obviously I've got the Paris Marathon so soon, so this is like the Olympic Portois marathon coming up. I'm actually going to with Meta. I'm going to do a whole video on it because I'm so excited, and it's literally in 1, 2 and a bit weeks I'm doing a marathon. It's at 9 p.m. through Paris. I'm not like racing it, as in I'm not going balls to the wall. I just want to finish it, and I want to finish it like pain-free. Like that's the biggest goal for me, and that's always the goal that I've had with this since my last one I did in Geneva. And then more so focus at the end of the year, I've got a mixed HYROX doubles, and I've got pro singles HYROX as well. So I've got 2 HYROXes, 1 pro singles, 1 doubles, which is obviously pro weight. I'm very excited and very scared. It's almost like my pro singles debut as well, because I've never done that before, and I'm training so hard for it at the moment. Obviously, I think there'll probably be another running race that I end up doing somewhere along the lines, like maybe, I don't know, like another marathon abroad or something. I don't know yet, but I am gonna go on a run this morning. I've got a 10k. What shoes? I'm gonna go for these ones. These are my favorite shoes at the moment, the Addy Zero Boston 12s. Let's go for a run. Okay, I need to do my rehab. I'm being so consistent with it, I think, because I know it's working. Oh guys, I got my MRI results back also. Oh my God, I didn't even tell you. I won't obviously go into too much detail, but it's basically actually not even my hip that has been the biggest issue. So it's not a tear, it's not an impingement, it's not an erosion. We've always thought it's in my hip. It's more actually to do with my glute, and it's something called glute tendinopathy. It's only mild, and you have like basically tendons, and mine are all inflamed, and that's why the pain's been like down my leg, and it's been there for a really long time. I know the rehab for it. My physio is absolutely incredible. I was so excited. Like, I was literally, the fact that it wasn't directly my hip, because I've always worried that it does kind of run in the family, but I've always worried that it's going to mean surgery. And I was very, very stressed about the MRI results, but they're actually fine. So I'm just going to do my rehab. Something really important to note about the rehab, there's a few people, quite a lot of people, who are asking for my rehab routine. I'm never going to give you my rehab routine because I was actually speaking to my physio about it. It's so specific to me, for one. Nobody actually, you guys don't fully know what my injury is or was, or anything about it. And I think you should really, if you are injured, you should go and see a physio, 100% if you can, so they can give you a really specific rehab routine for your injury. I think especially with the hip as well, because it's such a complex joint. If someone copied what I was doing, it might be really bad for them. The rehab routine that I had before seeing my most recent physio, Dave, who I should have been seeing the whole time, by the way, the actual rehab that I was doing previously, it was actually doing more harm to my hip than good. And then the new one that I've got is obviously helping. It's not necessarily just the hip, it's like the glute and things like that. That's why I always kind of put it in high speed, because don't like copy something that isn't like specific to you, because it might harm your injury rather than make it better. But I've got one more exercise to do, and then I'm gonna get my shoes and I'm gonna go. Just pop the ice bath on, ready for when we get back. My Garmin is the Phoenix 6S Pro Sapphire, and then of course I always have my Whoop on. It's literally a stunning day. It's a stunning day. I literally love it when the weather's like this. Oh my God, it makes such a difference to everything. Let's go. I'm just gonna do a little run through of what I'm wearing and what I use for these sort of runs. I did a whole video on how to start running, so go back and watch it, please, please, please. I think it will help you so much. So I've got Oakley's, no idea what design they are because I get them from HYROX. The Garmin, the Whoop, HYROX belt, Gymshark vest, sports bra, shorts, and then obviously the Adizero Boston 12s and also Solomon socks. So this is much more of a positive this Tuesday than the last one because I did do speed work on Sunday at Hybrid. Did 11 600s. I did it on the curved treadmill, so I did it on the runner, and I was definitely going fast. So the fact it's not hurting today, like the hip, is such a positive. I will not lie, this feels minging this morning. Legs are absolutely killing from my strength session yesterday. I just don't feel great, but getting back into swing of it's going to take a little bit of time for me because I'm so used to doing such a high volume on my legs. And I know the bike is transferable, but how it actually feels when I'm running just feels a little bit shit this morning. I've done a lot of strength stuff recently, like a lot. I've been pounding the weights. I've not done so much running. I'll be interested to see how my strength stays as I build back up to like 60, 70k a week running. I'm not sure. I just don't know because like this, after my leg strength session yesterday, oh my God, it feels, it might be because I've not ran properly in so long. There's multiple factors it could be. So, heart rate's 142. I'm just trying to relax. My legs are like, ooh, you're running again. What is this? I ended up doing 12k, which I'm really happy with, to be fair. So, run, done and dusted. Actually did enjoy it. It's just when you're getting back into it, it's like, ooh, my calves don't remember how this feels, or the rest of my body. My hip was actually fine, which is why I did 12k instead of 10. Heart rate was super duper chilled, really low. I was checking it. I wasn't checking pace throughout, I was going off field, but I had my heart rate up so I could obviously see the heart rate. Yeah, well happy with that. I'm gonna jump in the ice bath, start fresh. Minty! Hi, my boy. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Ow. Go. Go. Whoa. Look at you. Ice bath time. It's at 10 degrees. We've actually got back into the routine of ice baths really well. I think because the weather's so nice outside, to be fair, it doesn't feel as traumatic getting into a really good ice bath when the weather's warm outside. It's so cold there. Look, I forget how cold it is. Oh, not done it in a while at this temperature. Then, oh no! That was very cold. I'm now going to shower and make my breakfast. I have 3 meetings today and a lot of work to do, but first things first, food. My skin's going through like a little bit of a phase at the moment. It's the phase is not great, but I always use the Medicate vitamin C. What is it called? What's the actual name of it? C Tetralux. It's the lipid vitamin C, and I just feel like it really makes my skin. So I've just been getting loads of spots around here. I'm definitely in PMS 100% because I feel a certain type of way. I'm very bloated. My mood's a little bit erratic. I kind of I don't stress about it at all. I don't care if anything fluctuates. I just know with my emotions, like how I feel like a little bit different, which is fine. But I'm gonna go make my oats. We have just had our delivery through of our meals. It's actually a very good time to show you. I started working with this company called Farm to Fork Nutrition. This is my favorite one, oh my goodness. And all the produce is really fresh and it's absolutely delicious. I have always kind of been approached by meal prep companies, and I've tried a few before and it's just never really worked out because the portions aren't big enough for me in terms of like, cheesy taco pasta bake, delish. In terms of how much I actually eat, Ben has actual meat. Yeah, so these meals have honestly been game changing for me because when I've worked with companies previously, I've stopped using them because I didn't actually like the product in the end. Whereas these ones, they're very big. The calories and macros, I mean, not that I really care for calories and macros because I'm not counting. But like this one, for example, 658 calories, 70 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat, 68 grams of protein. I usually have meals that are of that size, like in that many calories. So it's working out really well. I think I do have a discount code. I think it's Lucy Fit in capital letters. Go back to last week's video because that was definitely what I eat in a day. It was everything. Like, I'm not gonna show you absolutely everything I eat in a day today because I did it last week. But the only food that I do weigh out is my oats. At the moment, I'm having 65 to 70 grams of oats a day, which is quite a lot to be fair. And then this is the protein that I've been having. So it's the vegan protein blend. It's the white chocolate raspberry one. So I'd never tried this one before and I thought, oh, that's bloody delicious. But yeah, the reason that I weigh out my oats is because I don't want to kind of have too many where it's made me feel really stodgy, but I want enough that I'm probably hitting a breakfast of at least, with all the shit that I put on it, the Biscoff, the peanut butter, the honey, the bananas, the fruit, maybe like 750 calories-ish for my breakfast, maybe pushing on 800. I'm not 100% sure. I've also no oat milk. I'm trying to transition a little bit more into cow's milk. Kind of going okay. I think because I stopped having cow's milk like years and years and years and years ago, my stomach started feeling weird with it, and I don't like that because I don't have an intolerance. I just prefer the taste of oat milk, but I want to make sure that I'm also okay with having cow's milk. Also having, probably should have had them right after my run to be fair, electrolytes. These are the ones from My Protein. They're the watermelon flavour. I've only put in 600 ml of water because I actually want to just get them in and get them down. Having them with ice. And then I've already made this up and I've not actually had it yet. I'm going to wait. We've got the creatine, collagen, greens and reds. But I actually don't want that yet until I've had my breakfast. Cinnamon, honey, Biscoff every single day, twice a day. And then we do peanut butter. And there is the world's most delicious oat bowl. I am just gonna go into the garage. I'm going to speak to you about my HYROX goals for 2 seconds. I have made my greens now. I thought we'd come in the home gym because then when I'm talking about HYROX, I want to be in the environment to talk about HYROX. So I go to hybrid once or twice a week and train with all the girls. We do my biggest HYROX sessions on a Sunday and that's where I do it. All my other training is actually in here, guys. So I've been on the, obviously this has been a lot. I've been on the bike a lot. I've done a lot of ski and row, more squats and things like that. I don't use the cables too much. It's still there and obviously all the free weights. So my goals, obviously coming to the end of the year, I have a marathon in 2.5 weeks. After that run this morning, I won't lie, I do feel a little bit nervous. I'm nervous for that marathon, 100%. It's very different. It starts at 9 p.m, so it's not a usual marathon. I don't know how I'll run. I couldn't even tell you. I'm not gonna be like racing it like I have basically all my other marathons. However, Geneva was quite nice and a bit more of a nicer pace for me in comparison to like London and stuff. So I don't know if I'll go off like that kind of pace. But again, I think that might be too fast for like my hip and getting back into it. So honestly, I don't know. I want to enjoy it. I want to get my phone out. I want to take pictures. I'm running through Paris at 9 p.m. Like, I'm honestly so excited. Going with Meta, we're going to the Olympics and I'm obsessed with the Olympics. Like, I literally love it. When I was a little swimmer, obviously my dream was to go to the Olympics and that never happened. So the fact that I'm now going with Meta and we're watching, I think we're watching the athletics, and then I get to run in the, like, it's not the Olympic marathon, but it's like around the Olympics. It's the marathon that's put in Paris and you get invited to do it. So I feel absolutely honored to do it and I just want to finish it with a smile on my face. Pain-free. Pain-free is the big key here. And then I have October HYROX mixed doubles with Ben. That's the end of October. Very excited about that. Obviously the weights that me and Meg did at Worlds, where we came second, we did an hour 30. Hour 34 compared to the previous year of an hour 6. Like, we did an hour, and we were so proud of that with pro weights because it was heavy. And again, I wasn't running properly, so I'm really happy with that. So we've got that in October, the same weights of what I've just done, the mixed doubles weights. And then December, I've got HYROX Pro Solos. I'm scared. Going out with my girls, with Ben. I'm very excited and it's gonna be a whole different style of race. I might stretch a bit whilst I'm here. Doing pro solos is going to be hard as F-U-C-K. It's gonna be so hard, it's gonna be heavy. And that's why I did decide to have a coach this year. I do focus on HYROX training, but I've kind of not. As in, my biggest focus over like the past year has definitely been ultras and marathons. Like the amount that I've done, 2 ultras and 4 marathons in the past, since January, I think. No, since November, because I did Lanzarote Marathon then. And that's a lot. I've obviously done 2 HYROXes within that, but the training is very much so been, I got really sore coccyx. the training has very much been focused on running, I think anyway, more than specific HYROX training. So I'm very excited about doing HYROX on my own. Obviously, we're going to do January again with Megan. I think we'll try and break our British record that we did last January. So we did a British record in January. Open weight, and it was really sick and I loved it. And I think we can probably break that again. But I'm very nervous for my pro solos debut, and I'm just telling you all because I confide in all of you. I don't want to put any pressure on it, but I like a little bit of pressure to push myself to the realm of wanting to do really, really, really well, like as well as I can do. I feel like my body is quite suited to HYROX. Like I know I'm doing a lot of running, and I do ultras, and I do marathons, and I do HYROX, but I think that sort of training really helps my HYROX sessions and training. Like when I'm training for marathons, I feel really, really fit, and I feel fit for HYROX. It's just pro weights because they are heavy. I need to keep my strength, which is what I was saying on the run today. I need to keep my strength up because those pro sleds are heavy AF, you know? They're spicy. So I am training with Cam. You'll see it all on my YouTube and Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please go across LucyDavis_fit, go across and follow me because most stuff will be posted on there. I am going to be jumping on the bike more. That's another thing with injury. I know there's been quite a few comments from you guys who have been injured recently, who've I guess followed my journey of coming out the other side of an injury. And I think the bike is such a great step in for running because aerobically you can stay very fit. I did over something mad like last week. It was like 160k cycling. It was on the bike. I think per hour, usually I can do around 30k depending on how hilly the course is on Zwift. So if I'm doing like a run outside, an hour is usually like 12k or just like 12 to 13k. On the bike it's 30, so obviously your volume is much higher in a short amount of time, but I have to go a little bit hard on the bike, so I am hitting those different zone 2, zone 3s of heart rate, but obviously there's no impact on the bike. So when you're doing it and you're actually performing on the bike, we have the turbo setup with, you can link it with Zwift, but there's no back wheel, and it does basically, when there's like a hill and stuff, it'll change the gears and that for you. But I've really loved it. I'm in my element. I put either a podcast on or my music on, and I used to really not like the bike, and it used to frustrate me how much I wasn't running, but I switched my mindset to be like, okay, so you can't run, so I'm gonna jump on the bike. So that's why I did so much bike the past, at least last 3 weeks, I've done so much bike. Everyone's like, when are you doing your Ironman? Tell you what, I will do an Ironman one day and I can't wait, but it's not yet. But yeah, I think the bike is amazing. I'm gonna do a whole post on Instagram next week, actually when this video goes live around then, about dealing with injury. So make sure you go over. It's 11:30. I feel like I've done a lot for 11:30. I wake up in the morning, which I obviously started the video later. I wake up and I read, and then I do emails for at least half an hour. So I get a lot of admin-y stuff for the companies out the way done. Training is really important to me, so that's in my day, doing that, ice bath, having my breakfast. I've got 3 back-to-back meetings today, 1 till 2, 2 till 3, 3 till 4. And then I have to pack for London because we're off to London tomorrow because we're doing 2 podcasts with 2 guests in London. And then staying in London for an extra day because I've got a lot to do and I have a few meetings down there. But I need to do a bit of work before these meetings. Goodbye. That was a very, very exciting meeting. I have got a lot of work boxed off already, so I feel like I've been sat on my laptop all day and I've just been inside and it's just giving me a headache. So I'm going to spend 20 minutes just reading my book. I'm trying to do this a lot more at the moment, just taking at least 20 minutes out of my day where I'm not working or I'm not heading the laptop or I'm not training or I'm not doing something or I'm not in a meeting, and just like trying to zone out a little bit. So this is the book that I'm reading at the moment. It's amazing. It's called Normal People by Sally Rooney. It's more like rom-com-y. I always do my business books and I've constantly got like a business book in my head on the go all the time, but then this is nice just to zone out because I couldn't sit here and read like a business book now and a self-help or whatever you call it and feel like zoned out, whereas with this I can really just enjoy it and get into it. Just got off another meeting. I love that Ben's things. We always have towels just drying round because of the sauna and the ice bath, and they're always just drying around the house. So I can probably put them out. The meal, it's really hot. The meal that I have got today is, I'm gonna just flip it over so you can see. Cheese taco pasta bake, 575 calories, 58 grams of protein, 42 grams of carbs. Delish, love it. I'm probably gonna add some feta cheese. I always put them in a bowl as well because I don't know why I don't love eating out of a box. Honestly, this one is silly good. Look at that. Silly good. Look at that pasta. Oh my God. Honestly, perfect for someone like me who just eats a lot of food, and I enjoy food, and I train a lot and I train hard. I know I need to make sure I'm eating enough for performance. Ow. Do you know what I also got the other day? I actually got sent these and they're amazing. These orange and maple nuts. I'm gonna add some nuts, which one would say is rogue. Honestly, I love a nut. And there's my food. I may have just added an excessive amount of feta. You know when you've got like this much left, and instead of cutting it, you just add the whole thing. I have just finished a very long working day and it's 7:30. I read my book for a little bit longer. I had a tiny little bit left. It was The Normal People book by Sally Rooney. Loved it. I'm actually just gonna start watching the BBC iPlayer series that loads of people have recommended to me, and I thought, I'm gonna love that. Do you know what I've noticed from today? In terms of how tired I am, getting back into running, I've realised like from not running properly for the past couple of weeks, how much I do usually run, and like why that is actually seen as like a lot, because I am tired after 12k today, which usually for me is like a smaller-ish run because I do so many longer runs. We'll see how I feel at the end of the week when I've probably done like maybe 40k, like I'm working in London over the next 2 days and I'm still gonna be training. I'm really interested just to see how I feel off like a slightly more high volume week, and I'm going to be very interested to see how I feel after that Paris marathon. Also, just to know, I have drank maybe like 4 litres of water today and I've had electrolytes because it's so hot. So just a note, if you are an active person, even if you're not an active person and it's this hot in the UK, please make sure you're staying hydrated. So this is one of my second favourite ones. I've shown everybody my favourite ones today. So this is the spicy beef stir fry. 589 calories, 44 grams of protein, 72 grams of carbs. Oh, it's so hot. I've put a few nuts in there. But I have actually really been enjoying these meals. Like, look at that. I know I have a lot of pasta. People might be watching this thinking, oh my god, you just had pasta and pasta. I had oats for breakfast. I'm now getting my protein in. I'll have granola before bed, but I am going to end the video there. Because I feel so tired. Do you feel tired?
Yeah.
I'm in that mood. I'm absolutely knackered from my 12k run. I need to get that back. But I hope you loved today's video. Give a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.